Hello? Hello? How are you doing? I really hope my camera isn't crooked this time. It's been crooked 3 videos in a row, and it's actually about to piss me off. How have y'all been doing? Long time no see. I know that I have a lot of problems uploading on time. That's my bad. But this week, I just wanted to, take it slow a little bit. Have a more relaxed tone. My music is really loud, and I'm pretty sure you can hear it. I wanted to take things slow, relax a little bit, and just kind of have a chat with you guys, It's always been my dream to have a podcast. Alright. This is the introduction of my podcast, actually. It's called, I don't know what it's called, but, I just kind of, wanted to sit down, have a nice little relaxed moment, get you a snack, get you some popcorn, a little bit of a drink, take it easy. I'm actually not going to do any editing to this video at all. It's going to be however long it is however long it is. I mean, I'm probably just going to add some music, and that's about it. Sorry, I don't mean to be on my phone. I know that that's rude. You can hear my dog. I'm actually setting a timer because I want this to be exactly 30 minutes for you guys. Because I'm not about to upload no 1-hour video. Not only do I not have the storage, but I also don't have the patience. But yeah, so throughout my week, I've basically just been thinking about some topics. Ow, I have a foot cramp. I've been thinking about some topics I want to talk about, and just sort of taking a mental note. And I think the main ones that I really want to get into, ooh, my feet are cold. The main ones I really want to get into are, well, the first, here, I'll surprise you. I won't tell you right off the bat. The first one I really want to get into is, love. Only because, okay, it's about to sound really cheesy. Only because, ASMR. Sorry. The main reason why I really want to get into this is because it's almost Valentine's Day when I'm recording this. I think this is for sure gonna go before Valentine's Day. Valentine's is next week, Friday. And I feel like as someone my age, I just turned 18. I'm freshly 18. I don't have a lot of experience, which is normal but also weird. I don't know. Because when I look around at people my age, and this is no hate to anyone at all, obviously, we each have our own different paths that's influenced by how we grew up or the environment we come from. We all have different experiences at different ages, and that's completely fine. But I know that some of my friends, they're already they've dated a lot for how old we are. Whereas I, fun facts, have never dated anyone. And obviously it's because my circumstances are different. I didn't come out until I was in 8th grade, which is actually really early. Yeah, I mean, most people who are a part of the BLT, LGBT, elemental PXYZ community, whatever you want to call it, not a lot of people date in high school, and I feel like it's for a variety of reasons. Obviously, one, you just came out, so you're trying to figure yourself out, but 2, you probably don't have a lot of options, especially where I am. I'm in I don't want to say a small town. I live right outside of DC. It's maybe a 20-minute drive. So it's not really that small. It's not a small town community that you think of in the movies where it's maybe one major store. No, it's a small town in terms of the school I go to has in comparison to the cities around me, it's not a lot of people, but the area I live in is very I guess suburban, urban. It's a weird mix. Point is, my school specifically has a very small group of people, and, well, obviously I have my suspicions, but nobody's, confirmed, and I personally just don't want to step on any toes, and I'm also, really scared of, looking like a fool. I hate to be embarrassed. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, not to like be self-diagnosing or anything, but I know exactly where it comes from. As a kid, I didn't have any friends. Y'all need to understand, my family growing up, we didn't have money ever, so my parents were always working. Luckily, I was in a situation where, like, when my dad was working, my mom was not. And when my mom was working, my dad wasn't. So whenever, like, my mom was at work, I was either at school or at my dad's house. And then when nighttime came, my dad had to go to sleep. My mom was about to come home. I would go back to my house, sleep there, go to school, go to my dad's house. And that's, like, how the situation was. And obviously, when it's like that, there's not a lot of room, like, for me to, like, go hang out with friends, because I was always switching between houses. So if they were like, oh, let's go to your house, I'd have to think, oh, which one? So it was just, like, not a weird situation to grow up in. It's actually, well, nowadays it's really common, which is a good thing. It's not very stigmatized, but there's not a lot of, like, breathing room like that, I feel like. So I never got to socialize. Like, I can literally, I don't know, that's just how I grew up. And now that, like, I'm in high school and, like, about to graduate, I'll be honest, I get sad sometimes just because I feel like I didn't get to experience a lot of things people my age got to, like going to sleep over at a friend's house, going to, like, your friend's birthday party, going to hang out with your friends, like, at the movie theater or something, or just, like, going out, period. I never really got to go out like that, only because, like, I don't know. I was living in that situation for a while, and then, quarantine hit right when I was in middle school, and I feel like that was, like, peak, like, let's go out with your friends time. I didn't get to do any of that. Well, that's a lie. I have gone out with friends, just not a lot. I remember during quarantine, during online classes, they gave us, like, 1 hour lunch breaks. Which, by the way, bring those back. I can't do no 30-minute lunch breaks. I need my hour. So me and my friend would walk to... There's, like, a Burger King down the... Ew. I know, Burger King, like... Okay, but, like, no, let's be honest. Burger King, honestly, isn't the worst option. We could have gone to an Arby's. Arby's is so much worse. But the point is, there's a Burger King right by where I live. So we would just walk there, like, every so often. Just, like, catch up and stuff during quarantine. So I don't want to say that, like, I never got to go out. And, like, even now, I'll go out with my friends every so often, but the thing is, it's just not often. So I feel like I got to miss out on a lot of opportunities, I guess. I don't know. I'm already repeating myself, and we're what? Like, hold on. How far into this video are we? We're almost at 9 minutes. And I'm already repeating myself. Like, that's so amazing. But yeah, that's, like, my main thing. But because of, like, my situations, and because, like, I just came out, I was confused for a long time. Which is funny because it's usually the opposite of what people say. Usually when you tell them you're gay, they say that you're confused. But no, I was confused, but the other way around. I thought I liked girls. Look at me. You think I'm gonna get with a girl? Wrong. You wish. Trust me, some people wish. That sounded weird. But I was confused for a long time, and I was still trying to figure out what I liked, so I never really got to figure that out. Obviously, I've had my crushes. I've had crushes all throughout high school, but again, I haven't done anything because I refuse to look like a fool, because I didn't have any friends, and now that I do have friends, and I no longer get bullied as much as I once did, I don't want that to all, like, go back downhill. So I'm just, like, trying my best. I'm trying out here, but yeah, I feel like I confused just, like, with my personal relationships, especially with, like, my type, like, who I usually go for. I'll usually go for, like, more masculine guys. I'll go, like, for more masculine guys. Usually, like, they're, like, I hate admitting this kind of stuff. I'll usually go for, like, the gym types, or, like, the people who, like, work with, like, cars, or, like, stuff like that. Obviously, when you think about that, usually they're not the type who would really go for people like me, you know? Usually they get confused for like straight people so often that like I don't it's hard to decipher whether or not they like me back. So even when I've like and obviously like I've had like straight friends, straight male friends, and you know what, I'm really appreciative of those. Ew, those. I'm really appreciative of those experiences. I I'll be honest, and it's a pretty common thing. I've gotten confused where I'm like, do they like me or are they just being really nice? And it's just something that you have to figure out whenever you're dating. If you're like me and you're trying to date, it's just something that you have to figure out. And there's really no one you can turn to. So it's just like one of those confusing things. So that's why I personally haven't gone out. I'd rather... I feel like I like to let people come to me rather than I go for them, because then I know, I'm like, oh, you actually like me, and I'm not about to get played. Because I've gotten played with before, and that's equally as worse as being wrong, or like having someone say no. Because I'll be honest, people have come after me, and they're only ever after one thing, and I'm not gonna give you that thing if... You know, it's just... You know what I mean. I'm not gonna get into it. Not on the public internet. The second thing I really wanted to get into is growing up poor. I feel like I'm just like trauma dumping, but like low-key, I'm not mad at it. This is low-key kind of fun. I love to trauma dump. I'm so sorry if y'all hate trauma dumping, but it's up there on my list. So like I said, my parents, they, well, obviously probably tell by now, they separated when I was young. They separated when I was 4 years old. It didn't have any major effects on me. Not in this... well, I don't want to speak too fast. I don't think it had any major effects, but if I really get to thinking, I can sort of like correlate one thing to the other. I don't know. But my parents separated, and so my mom... I'm very thankful for my mom. Obviously for my dad too. Do I have my problems with both of them? Yes, but for the most part, I honestly can't personally say that I've ever hated my mom or my dad. I'm very thankful for everything that they've given up for me, everything they gave in me. They've given me like a place to live in. I've never had to go hungry. If you look at pictures of me from my childhood, you can definitely tell I never went hungry. Homegirl was big. But I did grow up with less than the people around me. I remember my friends, again, they would always go out and they would be like, oh yeah, we went to like Skate and Fun Zone, or like, oh, there's a fundraiser at Chuck E. Cheese, or, you know, they would just like be out and about having their fun, you know, and I never got to participate in stuff like that. Like, I still remember me going to 7-Eleven every so often and like getting, well, back then the chips were like $1, like $1.50. I remember me getting that. That was like such a big luxury for me. I was like, oh my god, we're getting spoiled. But you know, it sounds sad, but like, you have to understand, when you grow up in that situation, honestly, I look back at those memories and low-key, they kind of make me happy. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, when I was in that situation, I wasn't complaining, but like, now, well, now more than ever, now that I'm an adult and I have my own money, I can sort of appreciate how those experiences shaped me as a person, because it taught me like how to cherish money more. And it's something I've talked about with my dad and my mom. When you grow up poor and you have to work for your money, not only are you more appreciative like of what you get and what people give you, you learn how to work harder and how to work smarter for your money. And you know what? I'll be honest, I don't want to shade anyone here. Obviously, the way you grew up is not the way I grew up, so I can't tell you how you were supposed to grow up, especially because I'm not anyone's parents. I'm not anyone's parent. Like, I've never had my own kids, so I'm not about to tell you how you should raise your own kids. But what I can tell you is that I've seen some people around me who always had access to money comfortably. They're definitely not as careful with it or as conscientious of it. I don't want to say they throw it away, but they do spend it more frivolously, I guess, for a lack of better words. Which, I mean, you do what you want with your money, but me personally, I could never. Like, even me going out to, like, spend, let's say okay, I'll give you, like, an insight into, like, what I spend my money on. Literally, all I spend my money on is my personal care, so that's skincare, hair care, like, cosmetics, clothes, body washes, stuff for my body, if I want, like, a vitamin, or, like, a special food, like, I mean, like, if I want, like, oh, I want grapes, or, like, oh, I want, like, a pack of this drink, or I want this snack, like, I'll go get it for myself. That and gas. Probably, honestly, the thing I spend the most on is that I can personally say that it's, like, a treat for myself is, like, my makeup. Because if you really think about it, it's not a necessity. If you asked me a couple years ago if it was, I would tell you it was a necessity. But if you ask me now, it's not a necessity. Like, it's sheerly just, like, for me and for me to have fun. I would say I spend... Sorry, it's my makeup's sitting, like, right over here. I would say that I spend maybe, like, $50 to $60 every so often, because obviously you're not, like, buying makeup every week. Unless you are. That's a you thing. I don't know. But me personally, even spending that, like, maybe once every 2 months, once every month, or something like that, that to me, and I buy drugstore makeup, that to me is, like, a huge punch in the gut. Or, like, me just spending money like that. I don't know. I personally like to save up my money. And I got to, like, I saw my friend, Sherlyn the other day, which, by the way, you should be following. Go follow my friend Sherlyn. Yes. She's building up her own business. Literally, by the time that she graduates college, she's going to be loaded. She's going to be rich, I feel like, because she has so many businesses. She has her... well, right now she's about to get her nail license, so hit her up for bookings. She will be getting that license. Trust. If it's the last thing I do, she will be getting that license. She has her sweets business. She has a fruits business. She works a full-time job at the same time, and she's studying in college for a trade. She's gonna manage well, I don't want to air out all her business. I'm only telling you this because I'm genuinely super proud of her, because I've gotten to see how she has developed as a person since we were kids. Like, I'm actually super proud of her. I'll put her Instagram in the description of this video. Definitely hit her up for if you need any of that stuff. But I tell you this because I feel like we grew up, like, in similar situations. Neither of us were very fortunate when it came to money. We both know, like, we need to get out of the situation, and we need to do it for ourselves and for our families. I was talking to her about this the other day, and I feel like, I don't know, I see her, like, making all these big moves, and, like, obviously I'm super proud of her, but, like, it got me to thinking, especially, like, after I was talking about it with my mom. We were like, well, I was like, oh my god, like, what am I doing? Like, I only have, like, a part-time job, and I'm, like, already struggling, and, like, obviously, like, it's not that I'm dumb as a person. I recognize that, like, I'm talented. I don't mean to gas myself up, but I know that, like, I'm smart as a person. My grades, if you look at my grades, I'm very smart on paper. You talk to me in person, maybe not so much. I'm not very, like, grammatically gifted. Or if you try to quiz me randomly. But, I don't know. Like, obviously, I can, like, video edit. I can film videos. I've taken photography classes. I'm certified in Photoshop. I know how to make banners and logos and all that stuff. I feel like I'm technically trained. So, like, I can do all these things, but I feel like I'm falling behind, kind of. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it because when I put it into perspective, I'm only 18. Like, I'm just starting out. So obviously, I'm not expecting to, like, be loaded. But it's just, I feel like it's a lot of stress for me, especially, like, now that, like, I'm becoming an adult. Like, I have to start thinking about the rest of my life, basically. Like, what do I want to go study in college that I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life? Where do I want to plan to settle down? Do I want to settle down? Do I want a house? Do I want an apartment? How can I successfully, like, finance myself for that? And I just feel like it's a lot for someone who is just starting out to already be planning. Like, people are telling me to already, like, go get a 401k. I don't even know what a 401k stands for, you know? And, like, literally nobody explains it to you. And it's just like, it's so much. And at the same time, I'm doing that transition, like, from high school to college. And already just the thought of me having to pay for college is freaking me out. Like, I feel like I'm about to collapse. Like, literally, I, first of all, wake up at 6 a.m., go to school for 8 hours. Then I come home, maybe have, like, a bite or two to eat. And then I immediately have to go to work, come home, do more homework. Like, my schedule's already jam-packed. And even when I'm not, like, at school or something, I'm doing something at home. Like, I'm always doing something. Like, I'm either doing homework, I'm editing this video. I think my AirPod's about to die. I just heard it go off. I'm editing videos, making content. Which for me, like, it's just not even a lot of work. Like, let's be honest, what I do compared to, like, what my parents have done, what they've been through, it's not a lot. And I do see that I'm very fortunate to, like, not have to go through the same struggles that they struggled for me, you know, so that I wouldn't be in the same situation that they are. I'm always going to be grateful for that. But you have to understand, this is still a lot for me mentally. So, like, when I come home, I'm already, like, drained mentally because it's all of that stuff plus trying to figure out my social life. It's just a lot. So, like, I don't know, I feel like I'm constantly behind, and, like, I've just been so tired that, like, literally, if you notice, this video is actually really zoomed in, and it's zoomed in, like, at a weird angle, too. It's because all of my mess, I literally shoved over onto my desk, and my desk is right here. It's right there. So, I did it as a way to, like, not have to fix my room because right now I honestly can't, and I feel like I don't want to say that that's okay, but I feel like me recognizing that it's a problem is like, what's that one saying? It's like recognizing that you have a problem is like the first step to recovery or something. I don't know, but I feel like that just shows that, like, I'm doing okay. Like, obviously I recognize that I'm not doing my best. I'm not, like, firing at all cylinders, which, by the way, hey, shout out to me for knowing what that reference means, by the way. I'm not firing at all cylinders, but I'm getting somewhere. Like, I have to remind myself, you're only 18. Bye. I feel like I'm just repeating myself again. I don't even know what to say, but I just feel like I'm complaining the whole time, which I don't even know if, like, that's what y'all want to hear. I don't know. And, like, that's another thing. Like, I feel like, do you guys remember back, I think it was right before quarantine, like, maybe, like, 2018, 2019, around there, we had an orange in office. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. Ooh, that's liquor. I'm kidding, it's water. Guys, drink your water. If I don't know when you're watching this, if you're watching this, you probably might have clicked off. You might have already clicked off already. I don't know, but drink your water. If you're still here, drink your water. Let me know if you drink your water because I know that I don't drink water and it's a genuine problem. But what was I talking about? Hold on, give me a second. I was talking about money, being 18. Oh, content. That's another thing. Do you remember back in, like, 2018, 2019, that era when, like, people were blowing up initially, like I think it was like the main ones were like Antonio Garza, Joanna Cedia, who else? Oh, Emma Chamberlain. I feel like Emma Chamberlain is still doing really well, actually. I don't know. Alright, I do have to make one edit. I just got a call. Um, but when they were first popping off, or like really like gaining momentum, like gaining followers, I was like, oh my god. Mind you, I was really young. I was like not even in middle school yet. Um, was I? I don't remember well. Um, but I remember seeing them and I was like, oh my god, like they're like doing so well. And I was like, oh my god, like this is the blueprint. And like you look at their success and like this is actually, I've talked to other people, this is a really common like misconception. People think that like doing this kind of work is really easy. But once you really get into it and like really study how to do it, you sort of realize it's a lot more complicated. I have to be, first of all, I have to be at 100 at all times. Like when as soon as you click on this video, I need to catch your attention like that, okay? I need to have you locked in, which is really hard to do. You have to be interesting because nobody's gonna watch someone who's not interesting. That's why crazy people tend to like really gain like subscribers and followers. Why do you think Lovely Peaches has the followers that she has? Why do you think we all love Trisha Paytas? I love Trisha Paytas, but I can admit she's really messy, and I love her for that. And most of all, she's relatable and stuff. And like now you see where she is, and like you feel that sort of connection with her because you see yourself through her, and seeing her like really live out her best life, it sort of gives you some sort of fulfillment. And I feel like that's like really like what you need to do in order to like really gain momentum on here. If we talk about TikTok, well, first of all, you make basically no money off TikTok. Most of the money you make is going to go through either sponsors, brands who want to pay you to promote their products, or sometimes you'll get like some free stuff. Let's be for real. You'll get some free stuff. But if we're talking about like just TikTok, how much money you make, no like sponsorships or anything, it's not a lot. And besides that, you need to have a certain number of followers, but obviously to get a certain number of followers, you need to put in the work. You need to be uploading constantly. You need to have like a bank full of just pre-recorded videos. If not, you need to have your calendar like completely empty, just full of videos. Or like have your calendar completely empty and just be ready to make a video at any given notice. Obviously that's why like everyone who's I don't want to say everyone who's in the hype house, because if you look at them, are any of them still relevant? I don't know. I was never really into that sort of content, so I honestly could not tell you. But I feel like that's why they first like really gained momentum, or like why they were so successful. It was a group full of everybody in there did TikTok. So when you collaborate with other people, you sort of share your followers so that like each can grow off each other. I don't know. Are you guys bored? I feel like I'm boring you guys. Do you have me on in the background like while you're like getting ready? I don't know. Or like cleaning? I don't know. I'm not mad if you do. Hey, I do the same thing. I don't know. What should I talk about next? I don't know. I actually think that's gonna wrap it up for me. But to cap it up, or to cap it off, what's the expression? I don't know. To wrap it up, what did I even talk about today? Should I talk about my song of the week? I'll talk about my song of the week. My favorite song this week has been, honestly, I feel like, okay, I have a couple I want to like mention. First of all, have y'all listened to Seulgi? I don't remember. She's from... Now, let me make sure that my information is correct. Give me 1 second. Darn. Oh, found it. She was originally a member of Red Velvet. They debuted back in 2014. She's from K-pop. Let's say it that way. But from her newest album, 28 Reasons, the EP or the title track, 28 Reasons, specifically when the mic glitched. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please go look up Seogi 28 Reasons mic glitch. It's had me in a chokehold. I've been listening to it every day at the gym. That and honestly, the newest Aisha Erotica song. If you haven't listened to it, go listen to it. It's actually really, really, really good. Um, and honestly, I feel like, well, I used to really be into it, and then it sort of fell out. But old salsa music, specifically Celia Cruz. I feel like everybody loves Celia Cruz. Like, I feel like she'll never go out of style, low key. But I mean, like, those, I don't know. My Spotify is a mess. Literally, it'll go, like, K-pop, Celia Cruz, and then, like, classical music, like Mozart. So, but yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much.